Travis Well. It's Pure Sound Daily Business. I have one more before we get back to the regular scheduled program. That I'll be at a live event. Well, just getting back actually at the time of this recording. We'll go live on the website. And I just wanted to talk about what I'm reading. Just wrapped up and reading, really talking about, I've been heavy in the Audible and listening to books. I just wrapped up a Booker T. Washington book. It's kind of odd point that I got. I didn't expect it. I've heard it before. I haven't heard it in a while, but this is why it was interesting to hear. The older, his autobiography. And he was talking about cleanliness. And I always been kind of shrug my shoulders at the make your bed demonstration. Well, for whatever reason, this one, he didn't talk about making your bed. That was one of the things. But he was just talking about overall cleanliness. And I think it also hit me, of course, the context in Booker T. Washington up from slavery is people coming up out of slavery. He was alive when the Emancipation Proclamation was read. He was enslaved. Excuse me. And spoke of how the importance of people being clean and what that did for them also, of the people who did get on board with that, especially in Tuskegee when he was bringing people in to be students. The other big point I got was that this is just one man with an opinion. He gets a lot of historical thought in the U.S. is pitting Booker T. Washington against W.E.B. Du Bois, and that these are the two thoughts. These are the two intellectual thoughts. And these are just two men doing what they could at the time they lived. At this point, they're historical figures. But this is a false dichotomy. That there's a have to go one lane or the other. And also that Booker T. Washington's Atlanta speech, and it hasn't dated well. And it sounds a particular way. Sounds like a stay in your place for the Asiatics of America. And I don't think he meant to come off like that. And I don't think that was his intention. And overall, what I got out of his autobiography was this was a man who observed behavior. And that's how he made his decision, is that what he saw worked. That was his opinion. He didn't have a lot of, it's at least in the book, there wasn't a lot of philosophical musings. It was mainly about this is what he went through, this is what he saw, this is what worked for people. And I always respect that. Alex Hormozy. And already listened to $1 million offers. I'm listening to, $100 million offers. Now I'm listening to $100 million leads and just strategies, man. He's great with the strategies, very straightforward, very to the point, that he just point after point after point. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. This is how you should do it. And yeah, it's golden. Not a expensive book. Even I got it on sale for a few dollars. So I'm listening to that on Audible. Yeah, but I mean, it's only, I think, tens of dollars for the Audible. I think it's the same price for the paperback. Then I do plan on getting the paperback. Not everybody's, but his is definitely one of them that I'm like, yeah, I want that on my shelf also. And when I reread it or re-listen, I want to listen and read it also. Jill Chamberlain, talk about story. Her book is called The Nutshell Technique. I was listening to her on YouTube and just break down what makes a good story. And in this business, I think overall, I think humans, we learn best from story. And that I believe we are the ones that give meaning to this life we live, collectively and individually. And what I'm developing with Pure Soundell, not there yet. But ironically, I laugh, by the time this recording is to the public, I probably will have a very solid idea of how to help someone be the author of their life. I mean, a very in-depth, high ticket. We have the fundamentals, we had a foundation. I'm just saying to continue to walk you through as far and as high you want to go. From right into entrepreneurship to bringing your unique skill to the world. Even saying to the marketplace, to the world. Being the author of your life, creating your life, giving you the skills that you will forever, for the rest of your life, be able to use to be happy and live in your purpose. So that's what I'm working on with tapping into story, how to tell a story, the elements of story. Of course, I stay on Carl Jung and personality type. Just the roots of psychological type. Listening to the Panama Papers. Always like some good either politics, crime. It's history by now. I mean, I was living when they first broke the case. I didn't look super deep into it, but I always knew I would, and now was the time. I had finished The Silk Roads, another history book, just in general. I'm interested in history. And I have a mind that ties things together. Extreme Ownership. That was one of the first books on Audible I listened to. Great book on leadership and business. Annie Jacobson, The Pentagon's Brain. History, politics, and government, talking about DARPA. And Peter F. Drucker, The 5 Most Important Questions. 1 hour and 40-minute listen. And it took way more than that because I had to continually pause. I had to continually rewind. It is not a book that you can be doing other things, especially if you're interested in getting as much as you can out of it, if you're interested in building business, if you're interested in being a leader. It's too compact that they just hit you with leadership questions, leadership ideas, leadership concepts. Of course, hour and 40 minutes, that's what we expect from something of that length. So these are things I've been listening to recently. Of course, one of the hardest parts actually was me finding the rest and relaxation piece. What do I do to relieve the stress, to wind down? And I've been reading a book about screenwriting. So that has been getting me more interested in movies. I haven't been interested in movies that much. Haven't been interested in just Western media a whole lot, period. Been really heavy in the manga and that sort of media. I'm coming back around with watching videos breaking down how story is told, and it's got me excited again for Western media. As well as I haven't played video games in a while because I can get sucked in, and that's trouble. Looking to build a business. But I gave myself to try it out and got a game, was like, okay, because I need personally something that I can go deep into that escapism for a little while and then come back. And that when I don't get to go deep and I just stay on the surface, it's like I actually spend more time messing around, the classic scrolling Netflix for an hour instead of watching anything. So I was like, that would be the extreme case, but even watching a show and not being engaged is one of the words I would say. So I said, okay, I'm going to try some video games. So I bought an old Legend of Zelda, I don't know, Link's Dream or something. I forget what it is, but it's an older remake they made on the Switch. I was playing that. It was a good decision. There were a couple of nights where, yeah, it was funny because I got sucked in because I got frustrated about not completing something as opposed to just enjoying the game so much. Because when I was just enjoying it, I would just stop. I'd be like, okay, I got my fill. So that was a good sign. But point being, test, find what works for you. Our books of more entertainment, they need to be educational also if you're looking to be a leader. You need to be getting some educational books on stepping your game up. But you need that escape piece. You need that release piece. It doesn't have to be entertainment. This is my thing. You need to connect with your family. Of course, that's a piece. Almost sometimes I forget about this thing because it's like, to me, it's unsaid. That's like, why would I tell you to hang out with people? You should know that. But hey, I forget myself, so I don't even know why I would assume other people. I get sucked in, especially this last 6 months. Why I'm talking about this now is because this is a very recent thing. I started saying, okay, how I'm working on this business, how I've been so focused isn't sustainable. Just mentally, just emotionally. So that's where I had to think about strategies to maintain my sanity. And also, it's just not healthy for a relationship with the babies, relationship with the lady. So this was a pivot I made recently. There are things I need to do. There are things I need to do with other people. So make sure you're checking this part, trying new things, making small pivots, making small adjustments to continue. I don't really like the word balance because there really is no balance, especially when you build in business. It's just a matter of harmony, which the word I'm using now for harmony is staying sane. Right? Because we're going to be unbalanced. We have to be if we really want to make the breakthrough. But we just have to be mindful because we don't want to go crazy. Obviously, we don't want to break up in the family. Hopefully, you have a good situation with people who love you, that they're watching you. They're watching you build this thing. One of the most powerful lessons you can give to your children, to your family. And we gonna do it. We gonna break through. As long as we stick to the system, keep being consistent. So keep making the adjustments, keep getting your successes with your relaxation and staying sane so we can get back to work. Travis Sotawell, it's Pure Sound Daily Business. Peace.